Welcome to the Endless Honeymoon Podcast. It's ol' MK here.
Right before we started the podcast, Moshe said, "Oh, just hold on. I'm just going to install a battery."
Well,
to an RV.
As you know,
I was like, "We have 7 minutes before we podcast," and you were like, "I'm ready to podcast."
And guess what? The RV battery got installed. I felt like a man, even though I definitely did have a handyman do every single step of the actual grunt work. I tried my best. These are the kinds of things that make me feel like a man, Natasha.
Okay, well, good to know.
I mean, if you built me up, maybe, as a man.
I do.
If you were like, said things like, you the man.
You the man in time management.
Yeah. Or you the man when it comes to picking up your dishes every fortnight, you know? By the way,
I'm sorry I don't give you enough positive reinforcement as a husband.
Not as a husband. There should be a law where podcast listeners don't expect episodes when their host is in the middle of a bronchial episode. You know, they should write us and say, you know what? Why don't you take the week off?
That would be nice.
But instead, we're pushing forward. Now, Natasha.
In true capitalistic fashion.
Natasha, as you know, and I would do me a huge favor and do not disparage capitalism on this podcast. This is the Billionaire Mindset Podcast. You're tuned in. We're talking how to take 10, turn it into 100, take 100, turn it into 1,000, take 1,000 to 10,000, 10,000 to 100,000, and on and on. Natasha, our listeners have submitted some written questions, and this is the one you selected. What do you got?
It's a great question. It is from someone who is looks kind of. It's got a very intense look to it. It's like a figure drawing or like a what is it called? It looks like Egon Schiele drawing.
What does?
His
No one can see our screen, Natasha. She's literally pointing to the screen, to the avatar of this person that wrote it in. She goes, this looks pretty crazy, right, guys?
Okay.
They can't see it. The avatar looks a bit like, what'd you say, Egon?
Egon Schiele, like, you know,
What's
like that.
Egon Schiele?
Like an artist from the 20s.
I don't know about Egon.
Okay, anyway, Queen
Only
of the Bland.
Egon I know is Egon Targaryen, I believe, in line for the Iron Throne. You know what I'm saying, Natasha?
Is that Thrones talk?
That's Game of Thrones talk.
Okay.
Yeah.
So they're asking, if he calls you dude, is that the kiss of death?
Dude. If your partner, if a man calls you dude, is that the kiss of death?
I say it depends.
On
the circumstance. Like if it's like a cute little, you know.
Like a pet name?
Yeah, those are cute. I've called people bro or...
I would
dog, you know, you can just like have fun with nicknames. But if it's like how he's addressing you in the same way he's addressing other friends, then I would say it's a no.
Oh, if he's like, those are my dudes right there. Brian, Jason,
yeah.
And Queen of the Bland with an Aemon Targaryen avatar.
Clearly wants to be special.
I'll tell you when it is the kiss of death, is if he ever says to you, dude, this is the kiss of death. Then you know for sure. You know what I once heard, Natasha? That the more inside language you have in a relationship, the healthier your relationship is. Like a sign of a healthy relationship is that you have created your own language of the relationship. And that's why Natasha and I exclusively speak Klingon to each other in sexual situations, right?
Yes, and we're being very romantic about it, but the truth is, it's probably just some annoying like California boy just saying like, dude.
I don't think it's a big deal, especially if the person's from California. Now, do you know about this, Natasha? That there's a big California, I call everyone dude versus trans community conversation that happens online. Have you heard of this?
No.
Have you heard of this, folks? This is like Jay Leno. This is woke Jay Leno. You heard of this, folks? Apparently, the trans community doesn't want to be called dude, and the California bra community says, hey, it's an agendered slang term. But the trans community says it's not agendered if it makes me feel uncomfortable. But I've seen a lot of memes about this conversation with people like myself who are used to saying dude, and then people who do not like the term dude because they feel that it is gendered. Do you think dude is a gendered term?
Yeah.
Yeah, right.
Because it replaced bro.
If you say
or is,
And
simultaneously with bro.
the police could say, now, who attacked you? And you say, it was a dude. They wouldn't say, well, that could mean literally anybody in California. They would say, what kind of dude? Wakanda dude. That's what they would say. Wakanda dude.
What constitutes a dude? They should be like under 40, right? No, under 50.
A dude is just a man. A dude.
You would never call a 70-year-old man a dude.
Yes, you do. Because you say this. Who attacked you? It was some old dude. It was an old-ass senior citizen-ass dude.
No, you would say he was really old. He was a senior citizen.
You could definitely say he was an old dude.
I don't know, just...
Dude, I was in the streets today.
White dude.
Yeah, see? I got attacked by this old-ass dude. Come on. You would know. You would be surprised and say, did you get beaten up by an old man? I say, yes, I did, Natasha. Yes, I did. What do you think? Shall we listen to some secrets?
Let's do it.
Hi, Moshe and Natasha. I just started listening to your podcast a couple of weeks ago, and I started from the beginning. So if you do play the secret, it's probably going to take me a few months before I even hear it because I'm still in 2020 on the podcast. But I was just in the bathroom and was laughing to myself as I finished up because my secret is so random and crazy and haunts me every day. I have this lovely old neighbor next door, a Polish woman, who stopped me in the hallway one day and asked if I was having Korean rice baths, which I guess is a beauty thing that women do for their skin. And I had never heard of this before. And I was like, no, like, tell me more about this. Like, what's going on? And she said she was like opening the vent in her bathroom and she was trying to find out like if there was something rotting in her walls and where the smell was coming from. And then she landed on this Korean rice bath and asked if I was having them because basically her apartment is getting overwhelmed with the smell of shit. And that's what she chalked it up to. And I only realized this later when I Googled it because apparently rice baths smell like shit. And then the next time I went to the bathroom and I had a major blowout, I was like, oh my God, this is what she's smelling in her apartment. It's my actual shit because it's really horrendous right now. I just had surgery a little while ago and my body's just still adjusting to my new diet and everything. And yeah, so my shits are so bad that they're driving this woman insane and she is like trying to burrow through her walls to figure out what's rotting. And now I think about that every time I have a big dump. Love you.
I mean, if it didn't sound so racist, I would say that Korean rice bath is a really good euphemism for taking a shit. It's like, oh, I'm going to go have a Korean rice bath. That sounds so much nicer. But it sounds extremely problematic.
It also doesn't really seem realistic that people would bathe in something that smelled like shit.
Well, maybe if it's got incredibly restorative...
I would. Oh, for sure I would actually. Yeah, you're right.
You would. Would you, here's a question, Natasha. If you could...
Not for long, though. Because if it smelled bad, that kind of ruins the whole point of laying in a bath,
If you could... There was a beauty regimen out there that would make you look flawless every day, but it included putting a facial of an inch of ice cold human shit on your face once a week. But it would make your skin look absolutely flawless.
No.
But no health issues.
Every week
It's
you've got like
sterilized
lingering shit smell.
No, you can get the smell off. How about that? You can get the smell off. In the world, no one smells it, but that you've been scooping shit out of a jar and smearing it on your face, letting it harden, and then washing it off. It won't create any conjunctivitis. No one will be able to smell it. It's just between you and your God.
I'm out.
You can't do it?
I don't really want it.
It'll make you look fresh as a daisy. It's just poo-poo for the face.
I'm out. What about you?
I'd do it.
If it could make me live forever, maybe.
Live forever.
Or live longer.
How much longer?
And we'd have to have a way to do it. Like you'd have to do it like in a rose, like infused.
No, it
bath.
smells like shit. It smells like shit. Actually, to be honest, to be more accurate, Actually, to be more accurate, it smells like a Korean rice bath. All right, let's hear another secret.
So I just had to pause the pod. Long-time listener, I think like third-time caller. But heard the secret about the guy who sneezes, and I have to admit that when I get extremely turned on, I also sneeze. It doesn't normally happen with a partner, but it usually does happen when I'm preparing to watch porn and I think about the categories that I want to research. I will like sneeze a few times. So there's also a aroused sneezing community out there, in addition to the sad titty community as well.
Interesting. Have you thought about the fact, caller, that perhaps it's not that you are so turned on you're sneezing, but perhaps you're allergic to sin? And this is God himself, male God himself, telling you that pornography is wrong, wrong, wrong. Have you thought about that, listener? That's so interesting to get so aroused that you sneeze. Oh, man, the body is so weird.
Yeah, it's almost like once you know you do it, though, now you probably do it a lot.
You mean it's like impotence? Like the more you think about it.
Oh, that must be so hard.
To be impotent?
Yeah.
It isn't hard.
Because then
it's not hard at all. It's kind of the opposite. Natasha, you walked right into that boner.
But then you're like, yeah, I could just imagine you overthink it.
Well, that's the
It's almost like, how do I have sex without thinking about it?
I've never experienced impotence in any form, but it's never happened to me. That kind of thing doesn't happen to me. I don't even experience it, and I don't even actually know what it's like. So I'll just start there. But I will never forget, I took an abnormal psychology class and it is abnormal to have impotence, so that's why it came up. I took an abnormal psychology class in community college, and the professor said that anytime a guy comes to her with impotence problems, she's like stoked, because she's like, it is one of the easiest psychological issues to deal with. You know, she's just like, she asks him, like, first question, do you wake up with a boner? I'm sure she doesn't say it like that. She probably says a little bit more clinically. And if the guy says yes, she's like, cool, you're totally good. You do not have any kind of physiological impotence.
Wait, the go-to for a man is to wake up with a boner?
Yeah, you didn't know about that? It's called morning wood. Are you just finding out about that?
Every single guy?
Morning wood? You don't know about that?
No.
You're finding out about the term morning wood right now?
I heard about the term.
What did you think it referenced?
When certain people, half the population of males.
Yeah, half the population, males.
Half of males.
You thought it was 50% of males?
Yeah.
That's a lot, Natasha.
Oh, okay. Well,
morning wood is a thing.
Okay.
Morning.
Well, you don't like to have sex in the morning.
It doesn't. You're not turned on.
So I guess I've forgotten that men have boners in the morning.
Your arousal isn't connected, I don't think. Now, this I don't actually know. I might be speaking out of class here. I don't believe most people wake up with a arousal boner. It's almost like a pee boner. Anyway.
Hopefully our child's listening. I hear her in the background.
She's definitely here, and I would like to move on from this topic.
Okay.
So let's move on.
Hi, Natasha and Moshe. I'm a big fan of your podcast. You guys really helped me through the pandemic. My secret is that my boyfriend, I took him back after finding out he was cheating, and it's been a few months since that happened. He lives in his parents' basement, and they are in Florida right now, so he's been letting me stay over, and he works third shift. So the other night while he was gone, I did something I probably shouldn't have done. I went through all his stuff to see if I could find anything. And I found next to his bed this little black box, and it had all these Polaroids in it. He took some nude Polaroids with me once, and it was nude Polaroids of all his exes, including me. And I haven't told him anything. Not really sure what to think about it or do, but yeah, that's my secret. Love you guys. Bye.
Damn. Well, the only answer really is you can't snoop, and don't snoop, and know that he's not going to be the guy for you, and you're eventually going to move on, and then your next relationship, don't snoop.
Why is he not the guy? What, this woman's surprised that the man that took sexy...
That would turn me off.
Oh, yeah, I could see it being a difficult pill to swallow, but just like, this guy's surprised that the person that took nude Polaroids of her also took nude Polaroids of other people. I mean, he's definitely demonstrating that he's the type of guy that likes to take nude Polaroids. Now, when you get up in a relationship, yeah, sure. Yeah, it's time to say, hey, maybe... hit the road, Jack, with the nudes. But what, they just start having a little tete-a-tete and he's supposed to throw away all these nudes that clearly turn him on? I don't think this is... why is this definitely not a guy for you? They're not serious, right? They're new. I didn't hear that wrong, right?
I think the collection of your naked girlfriends is kind of gross.
It's a little creepy, but or whatever it is. You know what?
But maybe he's like artistic or something.
I don't even think it's that creepy, honestly. He's saying
it's
to her...
It's immature.
Is it? Why?
He's like, every girl who I date for more than 3 months, I got to get an 8x3 Polaroid from my special camera of this chick naked on my bed.
What I will say is...
It's like a bro hipster dude.
What I want to say is that was a really good act out.
Thank you.
But it was fun to watch you struggle to figure out the dimensions of a Polaroid picture.
Because I was trying to think of like
8 by 7,
cool.
8 by 8. Are we talking?
I was trying to think of like
or?
the ones from the cameras. You know, how everyone's got like regular cameras now, like the old kind that you have to go get developed.
I don't find this creepy or even immature, really. I just think it's like something that turns this guy on, and
you can give him another chance, but don't snoop ever again.
But
don't do that.
But that's the problem.
Never you find anything.
That's the problem with snooping. With Snoopy, is he's friends with Woodstock and he never talks. The problem with snooping is now you've got the information and you can't unhave the information.
That's
so
what
when
sucks
you guys
about
get
it.
serious and you decide you want to move into his parents' basement, now you know they're there. And so now you're going to want to be like, wait, can you get rid of them, please? But he'll then go, what do you mean get rid of them? How do you know I have them? Why couldn't you have trusted me to get rid of them on my own? And then he probably, to be honest, never would have, because it's kind of awesome to be in a committed relationship with somebody, but also have a picture of every woman you've ever had sex with so you can masturbate to them. It's a tangled web we weave.
You masturbate to them?
Sure, you flick through them and you go, oh,
I
remember.
hate it even more.
I remember Teresa. I remember
Ew.
Diane. It's
Really?
kinda fun. Yeah. Hey, listen, if you
That
have a
is
secret
sad.
as juicy as those Polaroids, give us a call, 213-222-8608.
Or send us an email at endlesshoneymoonpod@gmail.com.
Yeah, that's right. And you can be a part of our Patreon tonight. Those of you that aren't coming you don't know because this isn't being released before it, but we're doing one tonight, a dinner party with our Patreon people. It's Patreon/Endless Honeymoon. They're coming. We're going to have dinner together. We're going to talk. We're going to get deep. It's going to be really fun.
I can't wait.
So you could be that too for our next one if you just join the Patreon.
Also, check out our merch.
Yeah, buy some merch. And Natasha, I love you.
Oh, I love you too.